What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm Regan and this is Scarlett Miata, where we talk about everything and anything about cars and some of my travels as well. Anyway, for today's episode, I'm going to share with you why power isn't always everything. And that's coming from a Miata owner like me because, well, Miatas don't really have that much power. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's go. Ask any sports car enthusiast and normally for them, horsepower is king. When you say horsepower, when you say sports car, it has to have like a zillion horsepower just to make it really worthwhile. But is it really the be-all and end-all when it comes to sports cars? I beg to disagree. Well, first of all, I'm gonna apologize to everyone because I'm driving with the top up. It's a scorching hot 40 degrees Celsius outside right now. You know, summer has come back to Manila with a vengeance, and right now, man, it is so hot that you can't put the top down. But anyway, I still want to create this video because, wow, this is something that, you know, a lot of sports car enthusiasts in general would really just ask, is horsepower really everything? And as I mentioned, I beg to differ, and I'll tell you why right now. Everybody knows that the Miata or the MX-5 is quite down on power. It's a rear-wheel drive, two-door convertible sports car that doesn't really sport that much horsepower to begin with. And personally, as a car enthusiast, I myself would really want to own a high horsepower vehicle in my lifetime. And you know, one of my options when I was shopping for my sports car was the Ford Mustang, which has around 420 horsepower, and that has a lot of street cred by itself. But now that I've owned Scarlett for a year and a half now, I just suddenly realized that apparently power isn't really everything. And I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why horsepower isn't everything. And in fact, it's actually more beneficial if you go for weight reduction instead of increasing power. So the Miata is well known as a very lightweight sports car. Now, driving her around, like right now, driving her on the freeway, driving on the highway, going around twisties, I find that the number one advantage of being a lightweight sports car, even if I'm down on power, I'm just at 160 horsepower, is I have fantastic fuel economy. Everybody knows that it takes more fuel and more energy to move a heavier body. And right now, most of the modern sports cars that have been coming out a little bit on the porky side. Even the most vaunted sports car, Japanese sports car, the Nissan GTR, is quite on the heavy side at over 3,000 pounds. Let's say even if you have the most powerful engine, like you have like close to 1,000 horsepower, if the car's body is heavy, then it would take more fuel to get it moving from standstill up to whatever 100 kilometers per hour in like 3 seconds, less than 3 seconds. It will take much more fuel to do that. Unlike the Miata, unlike the MX-5, which just weighs around 2,300 pounds stock, it takes such a small amount of fuel to move this car. And since my 4-cylinder MX-5 is a 2-liter, and since the torque is really down low, the maximum torque is down low, it's quite easy for me to mobilize Scarlett from a standstill going into whatever speed I want to go into. Anyway, so my fuel economy in my ownership for the past 18 months have averaged around 11 kilometers per liter. And that's pretty decent considering that whenever I have an open highway, I don't do a fuel economy run. I gun it, I smash the pedal, and still stay within speed limit. But anyway, that's a huge advantage. Fuel economy. A lighter car consumes less fuel. The second advantage of having a lightweight sports car on why weight reduction beats horsepower anytime is better handling around corners and quicker turn-in. A lightweight sports car would be more nimble when it comes to curves, when it comes to turns. It would be quicker when it comes to changing lanes, and it would make it more nimbler. So this handling makes it a much more versatile car than something that has absolute, gazillion horsepower. Because horsepower is pretty good if you're just running on a straight highway, like in an autobahn or something. But everywhere else where there's a speed limit, like in the Philippines, our speed limit is capped at 100 kilometers per hour on the freeways, and it's 60 kilometers per hour in major national roads. With that kind of speed limit, horsepower really doesn't do anything. You just be frustrated. And that's one of the things I love about driving the Miata. I don't get too frustrated because it's really not that powerful. But it's so fun to drive around on the street because it's so nimble and so easy to toss around. Now, the third reason why weight reduction trumps high horsepower anytime, and this is a bit of a surprise that I found out, is better acceleration. Now you'd say, what? I mean, a high horsepower car would probably have better acceleration. True, but even if you have a high horsepower rating, but if your car is as heavy as a truck, you won't be able to accelerate faster off the line. It's not going to be quick. You would have a higher top end speed, but your stoplight bells, you're gonna have a pretty hard time launching a heavier car. Now, of course, if you have a high horsepower vehicle and a light car at the same time, that's the best of both worlds. But unless you drive something as light as a Lotus or something, there's really nothing much nowadays that could offer the same kind of performance. Wait, I am in an interchange. Okay, let's go. So those are the three reasons why weight reduction is better than high horsepower. That high horsepower isn't really the be-all and end-all of everything. But I'll give a bonus. There's a fourth reason. And it's something that I also kind of discovered while driving my beloved Scarlett. Apparently, if you have a lightweight car, if you're driving a lightweight car, you'll have better braking response and shorter stopping distance, even if you're not sporting like a big brake kit. Scarlett doesn't have a big brake kit. She just has semi-race road and track pads. Yeah, but just like in acceleration, since you have a lighter mass, it will be easier to stop the vehicle. You don't need as much braking energy or braking power to bring this car into a stop, which is not what I could say for a high horsepower vehicle with a little bit, with the same type of brakes, and you have a high horsepower. It will be much more difficult to stop the car. That's why normally if you do engine upgrades, if you up your horsepower, you also have to increase your braking power as well by adding a big brake kit. So that's the fourth bonus reason on why weight reduction is far better than going for a high horsepower vehicle. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. This is one of my few videos where I have the top up because it is really hot. My goodness, 40 degrees Celsius. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel as well, where we continue to discuss a lot more stuff about cars, life, and travel in general. Anyway, see you again in the next video, everybody. Bye-bye.